All right, welcome. We are here in another Raw Think Tank for our community call. This Friday, we have so much to talk about, so I'm so excited to actually dive in. I know Sergio sometimes has to leave a little early, so we're going to actually get started with the website and talk about the updates that we have to do there. Like I was just saying before we got started, was one of the things that we did was we wanted to put a poll out to the community so that people can be giving feedback, so that the community can let us know what they want to see in the website, what they think will be useful. So we posed 3 very simple questions, and let me go to them here very quickly so I can review them. So our 3 questions were: 1. Do you like these quick buttons in the menu? If not, what other would you like to see? So we had Connect Wallet, Join Community, About, and Help. So that was cool. We got 5 thumbs up, no thumbs down. Second question was, do you like how there's a button to complete a task and a button to open a how-to area as well? Like here you see, once you are on the wallet page, you'll be able to 1, click to connect, or 2, click for more in-depth info, which I think a lot of people liked as well. Even understanding more on that's the point of this website, is to be able to even have that moment to stop and say, do you need a little bit more explanation right here, so we can explain what that means, what you should be looking out for, red flags for the next time you're connecting wallets. Check your website. Is this where you mean to be? Something that people can take away as they're going to their next thing. Number 3, do you like these quick links in the footer? Is there anything else you'd like to see here? So again, we got 5 thumbs up on all of those, which was great feedback. I also put this on Twitter here. I'm not screen sharing, but I'm recording it as well. So I'm just pulling this up so you can see here. Again, I put those same 3 questions here, got some likes, and I posed the question, like it if you like how this is, or reply and drop some ideas if there's something else that you would like to see. And although our community is still, at 100 people, I think it's going to be awesome when we are leveraging things like that, when our community gets even bigger. And, we're leveraging polls in Twitter. So something that I really wanted to do was create a lot more threads on Twitter. And we'll go more into that on social media. But that was great. So some of the things that I have noted here, did anybody have any thoughts that they thought when it came to the structure, the skeleton, what they would like to be included? Because I know when I was, voting and looking at it, seeing others that we've been, again, looking at these other Web3 websites, looking how now we'd like this next step for the design to look, how it to flow. Have others had some ideas? I definitely have, but I'll kind of hold mine off to see if anybody else has had anything that they think they would want to see added that they'd like to share. Okay, I don't see anybody unmuting. So I'll just go into mine. That's perfectly fine. So something I was thinking, especially when it came to how we are kind of like rebuilding and, moving into this direction, I revamped the Git book, and I really had to think like, okay, what is our mission, right? What are we doing here? What are our assets? What are we building? We're this Web3 DAO, so what does that mean? And our website, that we understand we're building, is one of those really important assets. So when I was thinking about the website, it's like, okay, what will give this website value? What will give it something that people are going to look for? And also, what kind of questions and problems are in Web3 that we can use this website to solve? And we can do 2 things. 1, resources, have them in an easy, accessible way. That's what the goal is there. And 2, bringing people together. There's so many people that don't know where to go to get information and get resources. So being that hub right there. So it's like, okay, well, how can we do that? Well, one thing I would say, for like example, for that question number 1, when it says, here are our quick links, right? I don't think we need Connect Wallet just yet. I think that's a good information. And maybe because we're Web3, we can have the Connect wallet just so that we're getting people comfortable to that. But because we are not moving to the marketplace just yet, I don't think we need to rush into connecting wallet. But some other kind of things that we can start to offer, such as like resources. So we can have links that say resources, and then when people click on resources, then like here, let me start sharing my screen. Just so that if anybody wants to look at what I'm about to look at. So say for example, we have a, thing that says resources. Now we have the brain, and this is what's going to give our brain more value as well. So say we have our brain, we have this whole section right here that says resources. Resources for DAOs, resources for beginners, resources for businesses. These are all different folders that we have so that we're collecting resources for these people that are coming into the space. So on our website, it would be cool if there's a way that we can connect that or display that, whether that's, a new article a day, or and again, that's why we have to have these kind of conversations to see how we can even do these kind of things. But I think that would be something that would be really cool, having that resource tab and then funneling to these 3 different areas: DAOs, beginners, businesses, also NFTs. That can be another one, because we know we're collecting a lot of resources for NFT creators, NFT collectors, so it could just be resources for NFTs. But here in our brain, we know this last one, social media, is actually for us, where Tiny adds a lot of her templates that anybody can use to share. Side note. So back to this. So yes, I think so having different tabs like that is something that I think would be really cool. So having that tab like resource. Then also having another tab, the raw NFT house. So what is the raw NFT house? This is something that I now kind of jumped to. But this is, like I said, I just updated the Git book, and I had to dive into our missions. Like, what are we doing in our pillars, right? And our missions of educating and getting these resources together, and how to be able to tell people about what we're building in this space. So something that we've talked about when it comes to NFTs is how we would like to, and you guys can all see the updated Git book if you go to the update channel over here. It's an updates, and then go to the pins. You'll be able to see it. It's the Git book, so it's been updated. So right now, back to NFTs. Like I was just saying, we're collecting resources for NFTs. And when we were saying, what would be cool when we do this website, instead of having this marketplace, have something like a Facebook marketplace or an Amazon marketplace, where a bunch of other sellers can come and just like advertise what they're selling and connect what they're selling. And, collectors can come and see what others are selling, and creating like a place more like that. I thought it would be cool to call something like that the raw NFT house. Like, if you think, there's fashion houses coming into this space, and saying that we're creating a raw NFT space is cool, because now instead of just making it a fashion house, it can be any NFT, right? And it can be anything, because there's a lot of people making a lot of different kind of NFTs and selling different things. So that's something that I thought would be cool to kind of build out. And here, if you're looking at my screen, it says raw fashion house, because it should actually be 2, raw fashion house and raw NFT house. So we have 2, our big umbrella, which is the raw NFT house, and then a little umbrella under that, which is the raw fashion house, because then we can keep going under that, the raw animal house, the raw car house, because there's a lot of people, again, in our DAO that's trying to take a lot of things physical to digital, and so many people that's going to be coming with so many different ideas. I have one guy that has a whole smoke shop and trying to turn his whole store with that kind of stuff. So again, just a whole car dealership, again, so many people in this Discord that's looking and learning and, you know, just waiting for that moment. And there's going to be more and more and more people like that. So again, how can we cater to those people? How can we be this resource for those people that's going to come into that space? So creating this general raw NFT house, I think it would be cool to, you know, again, make that one of those highlights. And that's something we can, of course, build out. Something that I was thinking as well when it came to building that out was, you guys know how initially when we were going to have our own marketplace, we had themes. Like this season's theme was the Raw Blackout. Next season, we've already even started pitching ideas, and it was like the Raw Renewal, which I think sounds really awesome. So excited for that as well. But we can keep that going. So some of the things I was thinking as well, when it comes to our website, so moving kind of along when it comes to that next part of the NFTs, is how we're having the resources for the NFTs, right? You come here and we can help you figure out which marketplace to launch your NFTs on and help you, not promote it per se, but you can share it on our marketplace after you've put it on whatever market, or you can put it on our website after you've uploaded it on your marketplace, so you just have more places to like expose your art basically. So some of the ways that we can really build that idea out is by actually testing these marketplaces, right? Because that's something that I want to do myself, right? All these different apps that I'm exploring and technologies and softwares, I'm trying to do reviews and create content to again help other people, like Coordinate, that we're going to get into here in a bit. I'm so excited to record that video and how to use it and be able to show you guys and other DAOs in the space that are coming and looking for these resources, because there's so many people looking for these exact kind of resources. So sorry, got a little sidetracked there. So yes, back to the NFT. So we can actually test the marketplaces, right? So instead of having our own marketplace that we all drop with the same theme, we can go and try out different marketplaces still with our same theme, because now we're again attracting the entire NFT community. And this is how we can start answering a lot of that question where, oh, how are you marketing? How are you growing your community? This is how, by having that same idea, that we, you know, those same seeds that we've been planted, and just watering them a little bit, growing them a little bit, and saying, you know what, let's expand on this idea. The season idea is good. The theme idea is good. We've even had a few members add into that theme because they like just that part of creating the name for the theme. You know, so that's good. I got that community interaction. So now let's take it a step further and say, for example, right now, we also need to create a roadmap. So I've been calling it like the beta stages right now for our website. So right now we're in this beta stage. So say the first 3 months for this next season, this spring season, we have the first month we can all release a NFT on OpenSea. And we can use our theme, you know, Raw Renewal. And anybody can release any kind of NFT they want using that theme, you know, hashtag Raw Renewal on OpenSea for June. And then the next month, or sorry, what's the next month? April. So April, they can release it on OpenSea. Then the second month, now we can go over to Rarible. Now let's all release a NFT on Rarible, you know, using the Raw Renewal. Then the third one, we can release one on, maybe we want to take it super spicy and go on the Solana blockchain and, you know, release one over there and see what it's like. So now we're actually going on different marketplaces, and there's a bunch of people, and we can create even a questionnaire and say, you know, let's give some feedback on what we thought about these different marketplaces, so that again, as we're creating and gathering this information, it's, you know, going to help the next person. So that way, once we can put it together and say, these are some pros that we noticed a lot of people had, these are the cons that a lot of people had, and just, you know, like Yelp almost, kind of like a Yelp for marketplaces, so that again, people can see the reviews that others have had, use it to help them kind of decide, but also get people excited, get people using the theme, get people wanting to use that. And then something that we can do during this beta stage is, if you use the theme, then we will use that and put it on our website, again, as that advertisement. Say all of us go out and release that NFT on OpenSea, to make that first wave. Because think about it, if people are all dropping NFTs on the same place with the same thing, we're going to start creating these waves in this space almost, which I think is going to be really cool. And then we can just grow that idea, with how we can kind of make those different waves and stuff like that. And just, again, these kind of things that we can expand on in the future, but do right now as well. So, just for, again, to get started though right now, and that's why I called it the beta stage, and how we can use our big mission, the skip book, the the website, the resources, and bring it all together, this hub. So I think that's kind of a explanation, and that's why I said I had a lot to say, because I've been working on this pretty, digging in, seeing again how we're going to be out here presenting what we're building and making an impact. And I think having these kind of innovative ideas are what's going to be making us different in this different kind of hub in the space for people to want to collaborate with, because it's also about collaboration. So just making us a good collaboration resource in general too. So that's what I was thinking so far with the resources and the NFTs when it comes to that. So again, when it comes to that hamburger on the menu, and this is still all just about the website, just to kind of bring it all home. This is about the website, and the things that I was saying I think should be like quick links to when people go to the website. What are they looking for? Boom, they can click on resources. Then they can go to what kind of resources they're looking for, whether it's for DAOs, whether it's for NFTs, whether it's for beginners, whether it's for engineers. And again, we even have our 5 groups, and I think it's really cool that we can kind of bounce off those 5 groups, whether it's for strategists, people that's in marketing. One thing also that we can really build on, I've been collaborating a lot and connecting with a lot of people, and one guy in particular, he is very familiar with the law. And if you guys noticed last week, I had mentioned even lawyers and how that's the new hot topic in DAO land. But basically he was saying, if you know the law, then you don't necessarily need to go down the route of lawyers if you just do it correctly. And one thing I was excited about when he was talking to me and all the other DAO leaders and all the people there, he was saying the thing that would make the most sense is just for individuals to come together, charge whatever, do whatever they're doing, complete whatever they're doing, split their funds and go about their business. Everybody handle their taxes their own way. And I'm like, dude, that's exactly what we're doing in the Raw DAO. We're putting on a workshop, we're charging for tickets, everything's evenly distributed, everyone takes care of their own taxes. It's that simple when you work as a DAO the way you're supposed to. So it reaffirmed that, we're looking at things the right way. And the thing about him and why I brought him up is because that's his business. He literally has so many resources about contracts and how to analyze this information, so that you can actually see this, and so we can get those kind of resources by having him on here talking about this kind of stuff, having him have a way to add that information to the brain, to the stuff, so that it's like, okay, everybody's talking about this, everybody can add their resources to the website, everybody can add theirs. And I know that's going to be might get a little tricky with the website, but that's what open source is, right? Where everybody can add to it, everybody can take to it. So what if there's a way we can even expand the website to something like that, where it's almost like the brain is open basically. And I guess GitHub is something that people use that kind of stuff for, but putting all the information there. And then also that leads me into the last thing that I was saying would be kind of cool to add to that is a forum, or like news, where again people can come, they want to come to our website every day so that they can go see the hot new news, and we can have a forum there. I know some I think Reddit is kind of like that, basically like a forum. People put topics and then everybody just kind of goes and talks about it. So creating something like that where we can be creating this content, putting in and just creating these atmospheres basically where people can come, and want to build, and I know Sergio had even mentioned that before, kind of like a forum style where people can come and interact and talk, and then we can also gauge people interactions once we even build out the website more and have, different things that people can explore and gamifying, oh, well, this is how you can actually do these different things, and just, making sure that our focus is resources, and the website really highlights that and embodies that and becomes that, so that that's what we are showing people. This is what we're building in the space. This is what we're doing. You need that, we got that, and being that middleman that people need. So I have said a mouthful, but those were a lot of the main points that I have been working on here, which was the again, the Raw NFT house with the Raw Fashion House umbrella under that, using that theme for everybody in the NFT community to post on all different kind of marketplaces. The Raw DAO having their own challenge to explore different marketplaces together month by month to create, some type of feedback catalog as, and information as we're exploring. And then also just that resource and how we can connect the resources we're gathering, getting those on the website to share, creating some type of forum so that we're creating, some flow that people want to go and visit the website. That's kind of what I was getting at when it comes to that. So that's my thought. I would love to hear other people's thoughts, ideas. Sergio, especially you know what's capable and not capable, kind of based on what I just said. Zay, CJ, no, CJ, you've had a lot of ideas when it comes to the website, things you like to see. But anybody have anything that they'd like to say, add? Do you agree, don't agree?
The resource idea sounds like more like more. Have you ever visited like Consumer Reports, like where a bunch of people just review products and then people go on that website and see if it's good?
Yeah.
It sounds like kind of like that.
Yeah, kind of.
But like for Web3.
Right. Kind of, exactly. So do you think that would be a cool idea, or do you think it should be kind of formatted in a different way?
Well, it sounds like a good idea because I guess there's not like a main resource where people could just like look up, oh, what's the best time? What's like the best time? I don't know, like to set up your crypto coin or something like that, or like where can I get a discount on hosting my NFT or something like that, or
Right.
I don't know, like
Right.
what is the best deal?
Exactly. And then anybody can answer, and then those are the things that always pop up when you Google those random questions, and then you end up going through the comments and stuff. So yeah, exactly, something like that. And we can even,
or like
sorry, go ahead.
or like what is like the best DAO for, I don't know, like toys or something, I don't know, music DAO, or like what is like the best Twitter space for fashion, or I don't know, like what is the best, because I'm looking at the Consumer Report website and it has like those type of questions, like what is the best deal, or like how do you get your lawnmower ready for spring, or maybe something like that, like, oh, what is a smartphone with the best battery life, but probably like something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And the way we can have the resources set up is even if it was just different categories, but having that forum where people can go and ask those random questions, and random people can go and answer them. And that's a way we can even incentivize the community. Like, hey, if you answer somebody's question, then you get rewarded by being in the Raw community. And that's how we now incentivize that peer-to-peer Q&A, like how they've been doing in Web 2. And then even, like I said, kind of sprinkling in Reddit, because I think the commerce report you're looking at, like you said, is a little more like technical, with how to get things done, which is still great. We can have the technical side, but I know the Reddit is more on a general as well, where it's just kind of like have you guys heard of lawyers in Web3? Or how DAOs should set up. Do they need to be an LLC? Or I guess those are still even more technical questions. But what do you think about the new tax bill that's been passed? More like general questions that kind of anybody can reply to and kind of share their ideas and resources under as well.
Yeah, I like it.
Sounds good. Okay. So yeah. Okay, so we can use things like the Commerce Report, Reddit. I'll look up other forum styles that we can kind of maybe feed off of. But yeah, I just remember seeing forums and how we can kind of like get that in there basically and use that as a leverage to get people to come to our website for those questions, to ask their questions, to answer questions, and again incentivizing that peer-to-peer, because also a big thing in our DAO is just that peer-to-peer and actually being able to again collaborate and connect and network. So I think even having that forum and being like including that in our governance and how you get rewarded for answering questions will be appealing in that sense. Okay. Did anybody else have any other thoughts they'd like to share? I'm over here just taking notes for our review basically. How much per
I actually took some notes down while you were talking because I wanted to uh, just share what I was thinking about. As you were saying about the pitches and the open source. So I have here to basically have someone. Obviously, we understand we're going to need somebody to review the forum just to make sure it doesn't get crazy because sometimes there's bots and scams and stuff like that. So I was thinking if we can put in the forum. Now, is the forum going to be on the website itself?
Right. Yeah, it will be on the website.
Okay, so is there a way, like, could we think of a way to put, because I was trying with bots, but obviously I'm a hit or miss with bots. But if we can have a bot that would just monitor to make sure there's no, like, other bots or scamming or, just people being rude, because I think about those things too. Because if it's open to everyone, that means that it's a good thing because everybody can, we can have the Q&A and have the peer review, but then there are those little, little nasty bots and scams and stuff. So if we can have a bot that would monitor that on the website, I don't know if that's possible. I guess that's a question for Sergio. If that's a thing that happen on the website. Have a bot.
Yeah, yeah, it is possible.
Okay. And also, where is this? Here we go. Also, reviewing the open source. I said that already. Why is this? This is doubled. I'm sorry, guys. I like try to write so fast, and usually I get caught up in my handwriting. Oh, when you said the governance token being a part of doing the peer review on there. Now, would you do what would be an idea, like a realistic scenario to get compensated for the peer review? Would we have to be on there all day, like somebody be designated a different day, like say for example I'm on Mondays or I'm this week and then CJ's next week, then Sergio's next, just to monitor what's going on or just to answer like the peer reviews?
Yes, good point right there, Zay. That's exactly as you were asking your questions. When you asked about bots, I literally put under here shifts for members by day under that as well. Because this was an idea that even when we were still under DigitalX, they had put out like, oh, something you can start with your DAO is, starting a forum. I don't remember which website that we were going to use for them though. But that was like an idea to start a forum, and they were saying how you can do that as well is doing shifts for your team, so
Okay.
that, like, oh, whether it's 8 hours or even like you said, I like by day. I think by day is a little better. Like, you know, you go through, answer any questions, make sure there's no bots this day, and then we can just keep going. And then also incentivizing the community. Again, we have our build governance token. Although it's under this rebuilding stage, we still have a means to track it, so we are still going to get allocated when the time comes. So it's
Okay.
still an incentive, so it's like, oh, now we can add this section to our governance section. Like, okay, under the website, if you are active, if you answer a question, you get 10 build. If you ask a question, you get 10 build. If you
Okay.
report a bot, you get 5 build. We can do different things to incentivize the community to want to be on there. And also, that's why sometimes, again, even when I've thought about like how to build out the website, because a lot of people, what they overlook is that a lot of these reasons why Web3 websites want to connect your wallet is because a lot of things cost per transaction. So it's like, again, thinking about, oh, how we can kind of do this in a peer-to-peer way. Say, for example, and again, this is super down the line, say like our website is massive and we're trying to like now control the flow. So say now, instead of just everybody being able to post on the website, we only have a certain amount of spots and we're charging for those spots. And I kind of alluded to this last week as well, right? So say we're charging like $20 because we're only going to host 100 NFTs on the website, and so say whoever uploads that, the person who goes and checks that URL and make sure it's valid will then get $5 from that. So it's like, oh, you complete that task and you get paid for that task. And that's
Okay.
where that economic sense will come in, because we're not going to have our own liquidity token, because we're not going to go down that route of here's how you can extract financial value unless it's a financial transaction, because again, that's when we were saying, oh, how are we going to kind of go forward and not be considered a security, not be considered any of these other things that kind of concern DAOs. These are the things that we have to make evident. Like, if that's what you're looking for, these are the avenues that you can go and obtain that. That's why we've even do the workshops, where it's like every season we'll have a workshop where different people can come up and be speakers, especially if they have a project, they can come, and be a speaker, help try to fund their own project. All the members can come and be promoters and get $2 a ticket that they sell, and I've even considered maybe next season we bump that up to $5 a ticket, so now they're getting a little more of that, because these things really make a difference, for people in the community to see, well, how can I extract real value, because that's what some people want to know. Like, what are you selling? Where can I get the real money? And it's like, okay, let's put that out there so people know this is how you get that. But everything else, this build token, this is for governance. What you're doing with this is for governance. When you're interacting with the community, you're getting that, so now you have more stake in the community, now more say in the community, and how we continue to build out from here, So, yeah, I hope that answered your question.
No, it really, no, it did, and I love how you always break it down seriously, because I need that, because then I'll ask more questions concerning it. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
I also have 2 more questions.
I was saying, ask all the questions you got.
Oh, okay, I have 2 questions, and I'll hand it to TJ. And if she doesn't have any questions, then I got more questions than that. I have a question for the website. Is there a possible way we can make like their own how would you say that, their own the speakers? Now we have speakers now, which is you, Musashi, Stella, Sergio, and Asa. But is there a way we can use like a tab for future speakers to actually apply to speak, like something like that?
Yes.
Like, oh, if
Ooh,
this is interesting, I wanna apply to speak at this Raw workshop. And then I was thinking more into that, because I'm always thinking. And then I'm like, okay, but what if the members have their own little tab too, and we can make a questionnaire, because we have our first workshop coming up. but maybe the second or third workshop members are taking questionnaires to see what they would want to learn more. And then that's when the speakers would be like, okay, well, that's my area of expertise. I can sign up for the workshop. And then, like, that's how it would flow. But I was wondering if that sounds like a good idea or not.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea. Especially because I had thought something similar, but how the promoters, like, what would be a way to advertise, like, here, sign up for this, like, it's like affiliate. It's like an affiliate program, basically, really.
Right.
So sign up for this affiliate program, get your own promo code. You get 1%, they get 1%. But I think that's a really good idea, like you said, to have that on the website too. Apply to be a speaker at the workshop. Sign up to be a promoter for the workshop. And having that there and getting, even if it's just a Google form, because even when it comes to the workshops, I want them to keep being themed, right? Because one of the things that I'm going to do after our workshop has been done is take snippets from like each workshop and basically condense it into like, one powerful video, and small clippets too, to make small videos. But I want to make like one big long one, like what is Intro to Web3, and kind of have a video from like each one, whether it's 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm not sure yet. But kind of chunking it into each one, because we have a different perspective from each avenue, in Web3. So even for like the next website or workshop, for example, I've been talking with a lot of people that are into like AR filters. So for that, and this is just sprinkling this in there since that's where we're going with it. But that I was thinking of something like exploring the layers of, and I don't know if Web3 is the correct word, but exploring the layers of Web3. We have OR, XR, VR, all these different layers that, you can have it, where you got to have the Oculus on. You can have it where you can have just a filter. You can have it where the filter is on reality, and there's so many different layers and people building in between these layers that I think would be kind of cool to explore that, and have like people on here to show AR creation and actually talk about that and what's the difference between OR, XR, MR, VR, and all these different layers. And then, so like you said, if you have something like that forum where people can put what they talk about, that can help kind of scope, like, okay, now what can be the next direction for our next, or say we get an overflow, because that's what we're really hoping for, right? That's why I even had to get down and be like, what is our project building, so that we can be out here telling people and then start jumping up these, groups. We having thousands in their Discord and stuff like that. So like, again, preparing for knowing we can be in the right place and the right person get connected and get interested, and it just start going from there. It's like, again, like you said, preparing for that overflow. So we have all those speakers in that pool. Now we can start planning those workshops around that and pulling from that, like, okay, this is the theme that we're going for, let's see what speakers we have available, and even go that way too. So that would be definitely a cool idea. I definitely put that in my notes, for something that we talked about and can hopefully be adding. And Sergio, I bet you over there taking your own notes, but does all this sound like in alignment with what you're thinking we could add to the website, should be adding as well?
Yeah, it's just time to implement. No, it's just like the whole, I guess, resource to implement it. It's just,
that's a good point too. That's what I was gonna say as well, is we don't need to have our website launched next week. When I was thinking about how much we want to be adding, what I was thinking, like, maybe if we just had like a landing page where people can put in their email to subscribe for like updates, for as we roll out, and then we just all kind of focus on, again, kind of rolling out a roadmap and what that would look like for the things that we're trying to add. I think that would be a lot more sensible.
yeah. I like the idea. It's just, that sounds like version 10 or like version 100
Right.
and
Seriously.
I'm thinking like version 1.
Right, right. Okay, so yeah, that sounds cool. So we know we'll have the and so apply for the workshop and apply for promoters. That should be something we can shoot for closer to the next what closer to next workshop, because then even how people can get their ticket, can all at that point be connected to our website. At that point, when we start advertising the next website, we should be able to start pointing people, or next workshop we should be able to point people, oh, go to the website to buy their ticket. And we can still sell them through Eventbrite, but at least have the Eventbrite link on the website so people can check the website for updates, get in those. Well, I guess we won't probably have our form up and running just yet, but again, just getting people used to going to the website for updates, resources, all that kind of stuff. So okay, cool. So I guess probably in our next meeting, we'll have to actually iron out more of a roadmap. This meeting was great for us to kind of rehash out again our focuses, making sure that everything's aligned, our resources, our website, everything else we're building, even touching back on that, and highlighting the assets that we have. Again, these are the assets that we're building. Our brain, which is to store stuff, which we've been doing a great job writing our own, and just putting those out there. We want to all seem like resourceful people. Well, not seem like, because we are, but present ourselves as resourceful people. So that's what I was saying before, when we're on social media, we're having these educational spaces, which is great. We got to keep doing that, keep getting these resources out there. But making more threads, and I even had talked to Zay about that, like even how she built her whole like chicken coop and vegetable garden, and her whole backyard is set up. That's what you do, your girl with the goats in the NFT space. Create threads that are going to get people interacting and looking for you for these threads of information, so that we are becoming those vessels and pillars in the community for that, so that when people are looking for it, they're looking towards us, looking for where we're getting it from, so that we can kind of keep leading them that way. So just categorize or strategizing with that, and using the brain. I've seen, and I mentioned Twitter in the threads because I've seen Zay post a lot of threads in the resources, because those Twitter threads be so resourceful. People, say a little blurb, add a little link, and you can keep going and keep going. So, that's really cool. If we find more websites, we find more links, keep adding it to the brain. I'm not sure how we can actually add those. I don't think we can add the Twitter stuff to the brain. But that's why, again, it would be cool if we can, even when we get the website rolling and we have like that forum and people can share links, and share stuff like that. Like, hey, I seen this tweet. What does everybody else think about it? And now, although, you can have that conversation on Twitter as well, sure. But again, people can come here and share articles, share YouTube videos, share Twitter, tweets, share anything that they've come across, share books, share, again, anything that they've come across that they want to kind of dive into more. So creating that resource, or the brain, that's our asset. Also the website to share resources, workshops, and virtual learning centers. So our virtual learning center is going to be one of the next things that I have on my agenda. I was trying to get to that first, but now I have these smart contracts that kind of deterred me from actually tackling that next. So I'm gonna still focus on forking our smart contract and getting that re-rolling. When it comes to our smart contract, also, coordinate. Let me get to coordinate.
Hey, Mom, I have a question about the forum.
Go ahead.
You know how like you want people to post on the website, but like how are you not pay for the cost of maintaining the server? Cause
yeah, that's a good question. How
are we gonna maintain the cost?
Where is it? How much is it? Where would that? Because I guess that's another question some of us were having as well. Is like, what is the platform that this kind of stuff actually gets deployed on? How much is it? and what is that like? Because I know Tiny, she's familiar with like Shopify because she has a commerce store. But I wasn't sure how that worked either. But it's a good question.
Yeah, I know right now we're small, but like I'm like if we're talking like thousands of people, like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's
and
why.
like how are we gonna maintain the whole cost of that? Like how are we gonna support the website? I don't.
Yeah, that's why I want us to be charging for stuff. Like, for example, having this workshop every quarter. You know, right now the Dow Treasury has earned like $5. You know, because we've sold 10 tickets and I put 50 cents a ticket. Next workshop, I definitely would like to go up to $1. Maybe we can even do more down the line, if we feel that's necessary. But I think that's going to be a great strategy for us to support the DAO, especially knowing like, oh, if we strategize and leverage promoters and people that have these huge communities and giving them promo codes and ways to earn as well by selling tickets. Because again, we have like what eight contributors and three people with promo codes now, and one of them is another DAO, like Entourage. They have their own promo code now, so it's like, you know, they get $2 a ticket, and they have 200 members in their DAO, and a lot of them are kind of in that newbie space as well. So imagine if even just half of them, you know, wants to go and they pay $100 or, you know, sell 100 tickets. Now we've sold 100 extra tickets. That's more money added to our treasury, added to their treasury, added to the speakers and everyone in between. So that's why we're definitely going to keep having the workshops every quarter so that we are getting that influx. And because we're virtual, I honestly think that there's no limit to how many tickets we can sell. I think if we can, especially because it's going to be seasonal, we can really get to like, oh, you can get seasonal passes. Once we really start becoming more known, we can start getting really well-known speakers who really sell tickets for really high price things anyways, and leverage their communities and things like that. And it's going to start becoming, you know, normal to make, I would say, 10,000 a quarter minimum for the treasury. You know, that can kind of go towards seeding that just from the workshop, and then also from the website. You know, once right now in our beta stage where we have, okay, we're building this website, you know, we're just starting out, we don't have too much traffic. If you use our theme and upload it on you know, another marketplace, we will feature your NFT on our you know, on our website, so that people looking for NFTs come and they'll see your you know, your NFT, and try to help those people sell those NFTs by having high traffic on our website for people looking for NFTs, looking for resources, looking to connect, and being that place for people to do that. During our beta stage, sure, that'll be free if you use our theme, if you help us get that traffic. But once we have proven that this theory is efficient, once we have proven we have high volume, people come through, people are selling because people have found them on our website, people are coming to our website and using our resources. Once we've proven that, and I think that should only take like a 3 to 6 month, which would be like 1 or 2 seasons of having that beta stage, then we should start charging. You know, like I just said, we should start charging people, again, a $20 minimum. And people charge for a lot more for a lot less just for posting on Instagram if you have enough followers. You know, so again, creating this kind of platform where, again, it's more like you just pay, you know, to use it. Because that's what Web3 is. That's what people have to, like, you know, remember. Like, we're now about to start paying for a lot of things on the internet. So if we're creating this website, we want to put ourselves in that position, like these Web3 websites that are, you got to pay to use everything basically. So right now, a lot of things would be free, but when it comes to promotion for your NFT, which people pay a lot more, that's where I think we can make that other money from, for the DAO. where it's like, yeah, we don't have our own marketplace, so we're not getting a fee like other marketplaces get, but we'll get a fee as a marketplace would for promoting NFTs that people want to promote their NFTs on from other marketplaces, which I think we'll do better off on anyways, because like I said, a lot of other business models do well with that, and there's a lot of people on a lot of other marketplaces. So I think it kind of opens us up to not saying, oh, you have to pick our marketplace to put your NFT on, but instead give people that have their NFT on random marketplaces a place to now come and advertise it where others are. And again, even leveraging the resources that we have, so say you have yours on a Tezos NFT marketplace that nobody knows how to swap it to and where to buy it. We had Tiny that made that whole easy breakdown on how to buy Mona, how to stake Mona, how to buy the NFT in a very easy downloadable PDF with pictures and colors and everything to make it very easy step by step. We'll be able to again provide NFT artists with those kind of resources. That's going to make it easier for their buyer to actually buy, and that's why they'll want to pay a price to support those that are willing to do that for them, so that they get that sale. And just that's why I bring up that part of the business model, because like you said, that's a good question. And because like I said, we don't want to have no liquidity coin or go that route just yet until things are finalized with how you can even do that legally without being deemed a security and different things like that, for just going more of a traditional route, like everybody that puts in gets out, stakeholder capitalism type of thing. It just has to be clear in the beginning, like you said, this is the money, this is where the money comes, this is where the money goes, and it's very black and white. Do you think that will be feasible to cover those kind of costs? I think so. When I think about the cost of if maintaining our website, maintaining storage, buying virtual real estate, paying engineers, paying core members, per big project, different things like that. I think again, when it comes to charging per project, actually, making sure we focus on that part of the business model, not ignoring it. I've also seen a lot of places that do grants for different DAOs, a lot of different places. That's why I even mentioned, building on the XRPL, because they do a lot of stuff like that as well. I also just read this other thread where there was a lot of different grants for DAOs. So again, once we have our mission and our resources and start building out, I think that'll be a little easier to find that. And we can even still set up like the Patreon system, just like we had before with Digital X, where people can seed it, not look for any kind of return, but if they believe in the project, they can pay a $10,000 and get 10,000 governance tokens, right? That's kind of like the decentralized way to do it, expecting nothing in return monetarily, but just being able to have that say now in the company again when it comes or in the DAO when it comes to voting and things like that. And just opening up avenues for stuff like that back down the line, I think will be good way. And again, I think with our mission and the resources that we're building and just getting that community, getting that flow, because that was the last asset that I was going to mention, that was our community. Once we have that proven community, then we become the asset. Then people are going to come to us because they see. That's why a lot of people already were recognizing Raw DAO, because when we all, all the designers went and got their own DAOs, they noticed, wow, there's a lot of activity in the Raw DAO. There's a lot of stuff that y'all are doing over there. There's a lot of stuff flowing around. So that's something that people already recognize that we're doing. So the more that we make that impact, the more our leverage becomes. And then again, people are going to want to come and partner with us, because again, we're going to have such an impactful community that's really putting in this work and really workshopping and really getting their hands in the dirt and supporting. That's again liking, retweeting, simple things, supporting, being active, simple things to some, but it makes a big difference to others, and being that community that does that for others. It's going to make us invaluable, and I think it's going to again be what is able to fund a lot of the stuff that we'll need funding for. Do you think so as well, or did you have other ideas or thoughts?
No, I just kind of forgot like we're in Web3 and we're still like figuring this out like as a like the whole Web3 community. We're still figuring out the business model. I forgot about that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And then just like a few seconds later, I just thought about an idea. Like I don't know if it's reliable, but like I wonder if there's a way. Since nobody owns like the servers, or kind of like if there's a way to like split the cost for paying the servers, but I don't know if people will like that in Web3. I don't know. It's just an idea.
Yeah, that's an idea. And it's something that we can always try to create, basically. Or figure out that next way to, like, why, especially like while we're crossing that bridge and exploring the different options. That's why I was saying, even we're about to put out NFTs on marketplaces. Let's do it as a group and compile all this research and information so the next person can see their options and how to do that. And when you do stuff like that, you end up creating a whole lot of things. So I think that's something we can definitely explore. Because that was a question we had too. Like, where are we going to be launching this? Where are we going to host it? How will that work? How much will it cost? And how will that be covered? So I definitely like that idea. I think that's something, even when it comes to like our DAO and the rules that we would want to establish for our DAO, that could be something we could go over then. And that's something we could talk about next week. Again, when it comes to like our roadmap, we could talk about, our roadmap and some rules that we think, looking at how we would like to see cost and money allocated or things like that, and of that nature. Because I think that's a good point.
Well, I would like it like split, like how we split the revenue,
Yeah.
but also like we split the cost,
Okay.
kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's a cool idea, especially because then it could take it another layer. Like, okay, well, maybe if you're not in a position to, those that can, then will get some type of that will then become another type of entity, not entity, but like another group per se, where it's like, okay, well, this is the group that's splitting costs, so they have not say over this, but I guess so. I don't know, something that we'll have to think about and explore, but I like that concept as well. While we're building, because otherwise I was just thinking I was going to foot the bill. So, if others in the DAO are willing to, like you said, split the cost or anything like that, then we can definitely explore that. So
I'm down to do that. I can come up with some funds. I'm down to do it. We need to split costs so it's not hard on everybody because we are just starting out. So I do it.
And no footing the bill. We're gonna make sure we take care of the cost.
Right.
Oh, period.
Okay.
Please, we can and we will, and we have resources to do. I love the vision and the thought. Sergio and say and Mo, amazing things, looking way ahead in a sense, like to build it now. You made it really clear to me, Mo, on the last call, that to build it out further out to see how it's actually going to be, believing in what we have and building it now. But as far as the resources and different things we can offer, let us contribute on that too. So that part of it is Sergio speaking in general. let us contribute what we can to cover those things
Awesome.
that we need to build it.
Yes. Great point. Great convo. I appreciate you guys, especially for that reassurance on not footing the bill, because I definitely thought that was gonna be the case when it came to a few different things. But and even Sergio may have that might have crossed his mind like, wait, I'm over here making the website. Doesn't mean I got paid for the website, and I don't want anybody to think that.
No, I just thought about it because you know how like Web3, the whole culture is supposed to be like decentralized. Yeah, we're decentralized, but like who's gonna cover the cost of the server? Who's gonna
Right.
like who owns the server? Like I know in Mall you have like the raw realm, but like who's gonna? It's supposed to be decentralized, like you know like the revenue like it's split. But, I don't want you to like just own the whole cost and we just it's gonna get expensive, you know, like
Yeah. Yeah, I know it'll get expensive. Especially, I was thinking that today when I was adding folders in the brain, and I'm like, oh crap, what happens when this storage runs out, and we gotta start buying more storage? And I was like, man, I heard like that other companies pay like thousands, like 8 to 10,000 in storage for their open source storage and stuff like that. Like you said, it can just get pretty pricey. But at that point, they can flip that bill because they're a whole corporation making way more, money off of their assets and what they get to create there. So, great point though. Something that we definitely have to be mindful of. That's why I always say, let's talk about the money. Let's not make it taboo or weird so that it doesn't bite us in the butt in the end. And let's do things that make sense. If it doesn't make sense, we don't need to do it, and that's why we're here now building independently, because we decided, things, we don't want to get ourselves in predicaments that's not going to make sense for us. So it's very important that we continue to build things that make sense to us all, and we all make really good points. So it's definitely appreciated. This has been an awesome convo. Oh, coordinate. That's the last thing we got to do. Before we move on to coordinate, the last thing, did anybody have any last thoughts about the website, starting that again? Sergio, I think if you can just get like the landing page, if we can get like a landing page where people can just put an email in so that they're subscribed and they get more updates from there, I think that would be really cool. It would be even more awesome if we even had like a forum section where people can maybe go talk during the workshop. But if that's we got to get further down the line, that's fine. We could just revisit that at the next community call during our roadmap and actually think like, what's some good goals to see, what we want to have done by next season, because next week is our workshop, and then the end of the season after that. So what do we want to have accomplished this next season, these next 3 months, the next 6 months? Start getting that kind of revamped for the community. So did anybody have any last thoughts about the workshop website, anything like that? We've sold, I think, 12 tickets. Everybody is up over $20 now. I think like each contributor is getting $22. We've had 3 people having promos codes. 2 of them have gotten about $10, and all of us are contributors, by the way. CJ, Zay, Tiny, you guys have been nominated as hosts and content creators. And also because of that, I did want to see if Zay and CJ, if you wanted to assist hosting the Web3 talent show that we're going to have on Twitter Spaces. I assumed you would, but definitely still wanted to ask. Sergio, I know you already know you're a contributor for the speaker. But I just wanted that to be clear, since you guys have been contributing since the magazine, creating the content, and all that. That's why you were considered a contributor. So,
let's go. I'm with it.
Awesome. Okay, so
I'm with it too. Let's go, CJ.
All right,
Zay, we back.
Cool. So we'll make a lot of content this week, get it all pushed out, especially for stuff like that. Web3 show and tell. Let's show and tell. Tell people to come out, Bring, if they got music, come play their music. If they got NFTs, come show the NFTs. Whatever they got, come show and tell on Saturday on Twitter Spaces. Make it a fun event. Even on Friday, Clubhouse. Join the conversation. Let's talk about revolutionizing our lives and sharing how we're doing that. You know, those are two of those fun events during the workshop that we want to get the community involved. The tickets don't stop selling till Musashi has done his in-world experience. So people can get their tickets throughout the entire weekend. So we, again, just want to use this to build the hype, build the momentum for our workshop. I'm really excited. Since we don't have any questions about it, last thing I'm gonna move on is to coordinate. So let me share my screen because I got a few things. So I should have sent, let me send this picture to Discord really quick because I did two things that I would like to point out when I do this. So 1 second. Okay, Discord. Alright. So I'm going to send this in the core team. So this is a quick reporting form. Okay. Oh God, the quick reporting form. So let me share my, I'll share my screen right now so you guys can see if you want. So I just added the quick reporting form here for you guys. This is something you can do right from your phone. As you guys know, we have the other reporting form here, which each group has their own. We have one for the educators, general, and you just copy it here, copy, paste it in your own individual sheet and fill it in. Tiny did this very well here before. Oh, in the brain, I did organize it, like I said, to where we have the glow teams. Each of the glow teams are in there. We have our resources, governance, onboarding, raw website, raw workshop, and the weekly tracker. Weekly tracker, we have each glow team here. She posted in the strategist. So here you can see how it looks when it's filled out. So she put how many she should have for the 3 events she hosted. For the 2 events she hosted. And then the next one, I do have equations in here, so it calculates this for you automatically. All you got to do is fill in the description with the date and how many points you're supposed to get from there. So it works really well. I was really excited to see that. So if you can, I know it's kind of, adding a little labor into actually receiving governance token, but if you can, that is honestly the best way to do it, right? So open up that tracker and I'll go through those steps here while we're just in here. So if you go to governance, it's under governance, under this tab right here, and then whichever group you're a part of. So I'm an educator, so I come to educator, copy it. I open up my own little Google Sheets, touch the same thing, paste it, and then fill in my boxes for what I did. Now, if that is too much because you don't want to go on your computer, you don't have that time, you don't have that option, that's okay. I also seen, let me see here, when I was looking through, I also seen Sergio made his own kind of rendition of it, where here it just had the same thing where it was the date and what he did. That's perfectly fine, and that's why I even made this quick reporting, which I did right from my notes. It has the name, the glow team, what you did. The most important thing is the estimated allocation. How many build tokens do you think you're supposed to get with how many you did? And then I think it'll be best if everybody saves it as your name _ glow team _ the date, so that as we're all looking, it's easy to kind of see what that's from. Because one of the things, as well as we're building out as a DAO, and maybe this kind of stuff will become redundant to store, and that's why I said I was thinking about storage in the future. But right now, I would think it makes sense to actually store that information, and maybe we can have like a clean out day where we actually delete that, where we no longer need it. Or maybe we don't. Who knows? That's something we can keep exploring. But moving along to coordinate, this is why we're using it for now. So with coordinate, and this is something, like I said, that all of you guys can log in on. This is how we're actually going to be distributing it for now. And I'll even drop a YouTube video that I have just kind of watched over that explains it a little bit. But all you guys should see in there. If you don't see, I'll double check your wallet address. But it's really cool because this is a way that we can all actually allocate to each other. Now, they don't actually have our build token. It's called Give here on Coordinate instead. But basically, we have our whole team here. The people that will be receiving build tokens. I think there's a few people that I haven't added because I didn't have their wallet address. But for you guys here, I know that you should be able to connect nonetheless. So what you would do here is you would go to allocate. So I guess it's kind of odd because it's from my own section here. But basically, everybody can allocate to each other. So what does that mean? One of the things I'm thinking is, especially in the other DAO meeting that I've had, we've all kind of talked about how you might need like a lead for each group or teams and stuff like that. So maybe instead of having like a lead, maybe we can rotate when certain groups get bigger. Otherwise, if your group is small and you just have to kind of take the lead, that's fine. Otherwise, if there are no leads, I'll just take it, of course, which is no problem because it's all pretty easy to do. It's more time consuming than anything, honestly. So, but it's good for tracking, right? Because this is the thing that I'm thinking before as we get into coordinate too, like you said, CJ, big vision. So as we're getting into this raw season 2 for this renewal, I really want to get into this conceptual vision that we can start putting out to our audience, to the community, right? Because again, we're trying to make this impact in Web3, right? We're coming with technology, we're coming with content, we're coming with a story as well, and a powerful one. So when it comes to like this renewal and us like rebuilding ourselves, right, and this rebirth per se, or not even, but you could go there if you really want. And one of the things that we can do, right, we're all still getting our build tokens, but we're not receiving it in our wallet. So I've kind of imagined that idea as the rainy day fund, because like even now, all of you guys have your tickets for the raw workshop and stuff that we're doing. So say I was to say, oh, we're gonna have a airdrop for the raw workshop. That airdrop just gets added to your rainy day fund, so that the day that our contract relaunches, it'll kind of be like the rain, and the rain that has come. And so the way that I looked at that as well is not like, and I guess the rain, from Noah's Ark is kind of brought life too, but more like springtime rain, where it's like, when you transition from fall to spring, and all the rain is what brings the trees back to life and brings the flowers back to life, and kind of, painting that picture on, getting that rain, and it being, that's the rain that we're preparing for. So we're just saving all our build tokens, saving all our airdrops, and all this stuff in our rainy day fund, and then one day it'll actually rain, and we'll have a rainy day and a whole bunch of airdrops. And I kind of got that from airdrops and that kind of idea. And again, with us being raw and this apple and seeds and growing the seeds, and again, how we can kind of, I basically want to create like a whole like visual, like documentary type of thing to really embody it and walk people through this journey. But I think that would be cool, and that's why I would like to use Coordinate in the meantime, just to track that. And also it just kind of, again, gets people, because I know even for myself, I have not been reporting in here, but you do still need to report in there in order to use Coordinate. And why do you ask? Because you go to Coordinate. So now we're back on Coordinate after that saga, and you'll see my epoch. And so here, everybody should be on opt-in, and then continue with current settings. This is our team. Continue with team. Now this is everybody here, and this epoch will be open for 7 days. You get one for each week, basically, because you guys know we have our 7-day week. And basically what you can do, everybody can give. So say for example, how's CJ? Sometimes you talk to T individually, or Zay individually, or Sergio individually. Say you guys had a meeting, right? You can come on here, you both can come on here, and CJ can say, okay, +1. And I've only put 1 because for whatever reason it says I only have 100 give to allocate, so I've only been putting 1, and then in the notes adding actually how much. But CJ, here, you see how you could just press enter? You could press add 1, and then the next line you put, 10 for meeting with Sergio, right? And then, okay, so, and the thing is, because you have to give it to each other. You give these to each other. So then, okay, Sergio's here, so now CJ will be given 1 to Sergio. And say, you know what? I met with Sergio, so I'm going to give Sergio 15 build for meeting with CJ. And that would be it. You just then save allocations. That's it. So now as you're actually meeting with each other, now we've super decentralized, like, allocating the governance tokens, right? It's not just me even doing the airdrops. And this also takes it to your own self. You guys know we have our allocation here, where these are the things that you can get the points for. Use these, as a base. But again, say like I just said, you had a meeting. You see here it says attend weekly meeting. If you did something extra, like had a meeting for that, you can bounce off of that. You can bounce off general or miscellaneous, or just, again, whatever you need, whatever you feel people should be compensated. That's fine. Look in there, use your best judgment. And that's why I said the tracker is still something that I would like to use, so that we can all still see that, though, right? So you add yours at the end of the week, and then that way, once we get our contracts, then maybe we can restart. Then maybe we can delete the old trackers, and we won't have to use Coordinate. Maybe we will, but this is something that I think would be cool to try again, so that we can all just submit our weekly trackers here. And for now, we have 2 options, and this is the point that I'm getting to. Sorry, I heard somebody unmuted. Did somebody unmute? No? Okay, I'm tripping. Okay, so so Coordinate. So right now we have those 5 groups, right? Our 5 groups. So like for me, I can go in and do it for all the educators. So I can go in, check the weekly tracker, check the educators on Sundays. And then if I see, I know Jose is an educator, he'll be hosting a space today. So I know next Sunday, when I'm in charge of the educator, so I'm gonna have to come find Jose. I gotta add Jose in here. But I gotta find Jose, and I'll just say this said Jose. I will add 1 for Jose, and say 10 for hosting space, and that would be it. And it's gonna do that for each week, and I will save allocations. Say I did 1 for myself too. Now that's the thing too, I cannot do this for myself, so somebody will have to allocate my tokens for me, which is what gave me the idea on making a lead, or a person in each group in charge of allocating for their group. And again, this is something that could even alternate if you guys want it. It doesn't have to be one person, it can be one person per week, but something that the groups can start deciding nonetheless themselves instead of me. So did this make sense, or did the Coordinate kind of lose you guys? I feel like I kind of mumbled through it. And welcome Shamgar, thanks for joining. Hey Tiny, welcome. So yeah, did that make sense how we'll be using coordinate, or did you guys need me to kind of recap it one more time? CJ, I see you unmuted.
Yeah, it does. It makes sense. It seems kind of easy to navigate, to throw things in and add and allocate different coins or tokens over.
Yeah, and I think it's cool because again, then that way, it comes down to you can. It's almost like a double checker, right? Where it's like you doing your weekly thing of coming here, copying the tracker, saving it, uploading the tracker to the weekly tracker under whichever group you are. But you also have here where other community members can be allocating yours, like, oh, I met with you, so let me give you some governance tokens. You answer one of my questions, let me give you some build tokens too. And it comes another way for everybody to do it. And then again, even at the end of the week, instead of me going through, because if you look at our map, so this is why you also see the map here, if my thing will load. Oh, it's not gonna load now. Oh, here we go. Okay, so if you see our map, they're all coming from me, but that's only at this time. And that's why I said it would be kind of cool to see a person. Laptop is tripping. But it would be kind of cool to see members from within each team allocate to each other. Because now, say for example, our engineers, now you have Sergio allocating coins to T. And that's why I even say, CJ allocating coins to T and Sergio. And now you'll start seeing how, again, our ecosystem is giving these build tokens to each other. And that's why it's called give. So, and you guys know I like to keep it simple, So that's what you should think of when it says like, oh, this is our give token. Who do you want to come here and give build to? Who helped you that you want to give some of our tokens that you think should be getting it to? And then at the end of each week, each glow team needs to come and give their team however many they should have. So like I just said, I'm in charge of the educators, so I'll be distributing for the educators. I also do for the creatives, since I know those kind of are our two middle people. So I will distribute it for the educators and creatives. Does anybody want to take the lead on strategists, moderators, and engineers?
I can do moderators.
I'm sorry, tell me about this lower.
Okay.
I was gonna say, once I get I've been sick, but once I get called up, I can definitely, I guess I'll do the strategist.
Okay, it sounds cool. And Shamgar said you can help. Okay, awesome. So Shamgar, welcome to the party. So to get started all the way officially, we want you all the way on board so you get access to all of our super fun lock channels here. What you're going to want to do is go here, and I'm still sharing my screen so you can follow along a bit, but go to where to start, and you'll fill out this Google form. And actually, I'm happy that we brought up this Google form because that's the last thing that I updated. And I'm sorry today's community call has been a bit longer, but we had so many updates to go over. If you guys missed it, make sure you review the beginning where we talked about our website, because man, we took it to the next level with the forum that we're adding and the resources and how we're bringing it all together. And Shamgar, I know you're big into gaming. One of the things we really are trying to do is gamify things as well. So having that perspective will definitely be appreciated. But our onboarding form. So if you guys haven't, I told all the core members to make sure you filled out this prior already. I think most of you have, so that's great. But I just added 2 questions right here at the bottom. It says, add a bio you would like copy and paste it across different platforms when introducing you, and add a picture you would like featured on different platforms for you. So one example would be our Gitbook. Now I told you guys our Gitbook is already updated, so I'll show you something. For example, this is something that CJ and I are going to be building out more and actually adding all of you to the Gitbook, all of the DAO members. So if you ever want to see the Gitbook, come to updates, go to your pins, and it's the very first pin. So this is our Git book that actually talks all about what we are. Something that's really cool that I added here on our main page is how we have our community call with our weekly updates, and then you can actually click this link and it goes over our weekly updates. I do need to make a banner. It's been a little tricky making one that's a 2-to-1 ratio off my phone for some reason. So it's being a little annoying by not letting me add a banner because it's not 2-to-1 ratio. So if anybody can help with that and make a cool banner that's 2-to-1 ratio, that would be cool. For our weekly Raw recap, that would be really cool. But here, I always repost what we talked about with a link to our chat. And then also, like if I was to click continue reading, it has our task that's available that week, our Twitter spaces. And if you guys have noticed, I always share what you've shared in your resources. So Shamgar, if you've noticed, you've been in like the last few articles, and I've reposted your Twitch and stuff. Zay and Tiny the same. But anything that people are posting in the Discord, I'm kind of just pulling out and reposting here. Again, with that same idea as our website's going to have, right? Like people are sharing resources in our Discord, so let's use the other channels like our website, like our Medium, like our Mirror to actually reshare this kind of stuff. So I think it's really cool. You can always access that right here from this link on our Git book, and others can as well. So you guys can check these out. I went into a lot of detail for our vision that I've talked about in here, but here is where we're going to add Meet the DAOs. Right here you'll see Raw Apparel founder and designer. You'll see me with my tie-dye. I need to update this picture obviously, and then my little bio, and I added my Instagram and Twitter. But we're going to be adding everyone that's in the DAO here as well with a picture and a bio. I want to start introducing people on Twitter. Like, this is the new member that just joined. I make it a whole celebration when people actually join. We have the one chat in Discord, but I want to, again, take it to Twitter, take it to Instagram when we start our own Instagram. For whatever reason, I tried to start our own because as you guys know, Raw Apparel is my actual clothing brand, and Raw DAO is the Raw DAO. And I run my husband runs our Instagram page. So trying to keep those separate by having Raw DAO have its own Instagram, and that be where we can just share new members, share all this information and all that kind of stuff. And my page where I just kind of share more on like my brain and our thinking, because again, it's my husband, so he posts more content like that, which is still aligned since I'm the founder, and that's where a lot of these ideas come from. So it's still cool, but I think it would be cool to have Raw DAO have its own Instagram where, again, we can share that. New members join. We could post a picture, repost a bio. So we do have that added here to the onboarding form. So that's it. I think that's it that I had for today. I've been chit-chatting away. Did anybody have any questions, concerns, thoughts? We've got so much.
I think it's a really cool new idea, and kind of tied in with the things I do with gaming, because I mentioned like Web 3.0 and stuff. But also lately I've had this idea. I would really like to. I'm starting to try to work with people not only on like coaching and gaming, helping people improve, but I'm also trying to look for like basically disabled people, or people I can find with different disabilities and like game with them and just kind of vibe and have fun. I feel like this type of space would be definitely more so inclusive of people like that. I feel like I could actually bring a community along with me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why we create like that in this space, so that it's like whatever your gift is, you can come here and teach that. Like you said, you're helping people get into gaming and how to stream in gaming. There's a need for people that need to learn how to do that, like you said, especially those that are disabled and really need somebody that's looking to help nurture that group. And this is a great place, like you said, to come together, find others that are into educating, find others that are into gaming, have more resources where we can come together and build out these different missions. So Sounds really cool, and definitely like this is the place to be. One of the things that we were talking about on our website is just creating a forum, like where people can do like reviews almost, or answer questions for people. So something like that would be really cool, because I feel like that's something that I used to always go for, actually. Those kind of forums when I was playing games, like looking for sim codes, like, oh, what's a code for this? And you actually end up in those forums and finding like different cheat sheets and stuff like that. But again, creating this forum where people can talk, ask questions, talk about games, and again, come to this space to do that kind of stuff for all kind of people. Definitely exciting. Sounds like a plan. I could see it. Make sure you do your form then, and add that there where you see how you can add to the raw realm, and we can definitely add that section, because I think the last thing to say, oh, I see Tiny's unmuted. Before you go, Tiny, was just, again, one of the things that Digital X, who we came from, did really well was tackling so many different umbrellas. And that's why I even said, we're going to make the raw NFT house, not just the raw NFT fashion house, but the raw NFT house, where anybody with any kind of NFT can come and spotlight their NFT, right? So I think even taking a step aside from that is saying, okay, what else is in this industry? We have gaming that comes with this industry, and then you see, oh, you have modeling, you have photographers, you have music, you have so many different industries that we can start to add umbrellas to. Animals, breeding, weeds, so many different things that there's so many different industries that, again, we can start to tackle when we have people from different areas kind of pioneering that. So definitely needed in this space, and going to be awesome. Miss Tiny.
I just had a question because I saw you added. Sorry if I missed it. I saw you added those 2 questions. So do we need to go like resubmit that form then?
If you can. Yeah, if you can, that would be cool.
Okay, yeah, no big deal. Okay.
Yeah, because then that way you can add your bio and your pictures, and then again, that way, a big reason on why we said everybody, even if you've been in the core team, because one of the things that we did, nobody just got added to the core team, right? We are making every single person put in some type of work in order to get to the core team. That's why we have it set up this way. You fill out your Google form, let us know which team you're basically trying to be a part of, and then all you have to do is complete a task that they've put out there. And that's the last thing that we'll have to do for our community call, is hear from each team and put out a weekly task that we share in that task chat that you can complete. Or Shamgar, since I know you're about to be onboarding, something else you can do. Again, there's 2 chats. Task over here to the left under the community. We always post that there. Or you can go to the tokenomics chat and scroll up, and you'll see each of the 5 glow teams that we have there are strategists, creatives, engineers, moderators, and educators, and kind of get a gist of which each one kind of focuses on. And if you can complete any of these tasks throughout the week. And again, this is how you would start earning build tokens. So let me see.
Would it be a problem if I filled it out like within a week? Because I technically got Passover this week, so I'm not like doing any work or streaming actually.
Oh no, it
I'm kind
wouldn't.
of just like relaxing.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't matter if it went over a week. I just wanted to let you know what you could do in order to get all the way on board.
Alright, I'll fill it out though ASAP once I get back.
Okay, sounds like a plan. I hope you have a good Passover. I don't know if that's the proper thing to say. So yes, Tiny, did I answer your question?
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure because I was gonna resubmit it with the 2 new questions.
Oh yes. With the 2 new questions, right? That's what I was saying. So the thing I was saying, with everybody being able to access that information, that's just the biggest thing. So that, again, because CJ is the person that's actually going to be taking over, adding that to the Git book. I'm making a tutorial for her to be able to actually see, how you log into it. Because again, as our DAO continues to grow, people can continue to do different things. Like right now, Zay is running our TikTok. I would love for somebody else to step in and run our Instagram. I think the Instagram that I kept trying to make kept getting disabled because I have so many different Instagrams already on my Instagram. So if somebody else could actually, run that Instagram, that would be great, because I don't even think I could set it up. I tried 2 different names and they disabled both of them both times. So not sure why I kind of got stuck there, but it is what it is. And when somebody else, is able to step up and say, I can run that, then we'll do that. And not that any of you have to, but just, we're growing. These are the kind of positions that we're filling out for. Like I just said, different people can drop for coordinate. These are different positions that people will be able to kind of take, and responsibilities. Well, like we said, we'll have that forum. Different people can watch the forum different days. We'll have different positions, different things for people to do, and we trying to do it big. We trying to get this a flow of people in here. So I think that's about it then. Like I said, we've been here for a while, talked about a lot, but it was all good. We talked about a lot of things for direction, what we're doing. Again, make sure you're submitting your weekly trackers now. Like I said, I know myself, I have not even submitted any, so we're gonna just do better this week moving forward. Make sure you're submitting that weekly tracker. Like I said, in the core team, I dropped a quick and easy one. If it's too much to actually go on to the Google Drive and copy and paste it there, you could just go in your notes, put your name, your team, what you did, and how many points you did, and just upload it in the drive so that we're storing all that value. Make sure you guys are adding resources to the drive, to the brain, that you're coming across, so that we can continue to build out. And that's it. Next week we have to talk about our tasks. Sorry, that's the last thing. Our tasks for next week. So educators, again, still just making educational content. Any educational content is helpful. I've been posting a lot of educational content about what did I post about this week? I don't even remember. But I think it was about, I don't remember, but educational content. I'm gonna have to go back and look when I get my tracker together. But I'll be posting it in there. But educators, make educational content. We have a new educator that onboarded, Jose, so great for him. He had his spaces this last week, and he talked about blockchain and how he's building bridges for people all over the world, because you guys know, he's in Venezuela, and trying to build bridges for people that are, still traditional and still want to uphold their culture while making money on blockchain though, and being able to kind of bridge those two. So that was really great to explore his things. So that's awesome. We'll be having another one of those sessions next Thursday. He actually calls it like a healing musical session. We'll have that in the jam session that anybody can come and join. It's another voice channel here right under the lounge. It's called the jam session. And he'll be playing his guitar, which he is amazing at. Like, y'all know how some people think they can sing and play the guitar, and it's like, oh, okay, that's nice. No, he really can play his guitar and sing. So make sure you guys tune into the jam session with our newest educator. That'll be a lot of fun next Thursday at 11 a.m. For creatives, also same thing. Just keep creating creative content. Next season we will be getting a new theme out there, and again, that challenge to release NFTs on different platforms together. So at that point we will have some more different tasks available for the creatives at that time. But for now, the biggest thing is we have to be creating content, have to be spreading content. So same for them, get the content out there. Moving over, we went over the engineers basically, which was getting out that poll. Everybody that took part in the poll, on whether it's here in Discord or on Twitter, awesome. Thank you. Very much appreciate it. I love to see the feedback. Happy we got that poll done as well, and spent a lot of this call talking about how we can build out that skeleton. So Sergio, I would say, is there what is the task that you would say you're going to complete this week so that we're on track for the workshop next week?
I would say research on like the platform and the the technology. Just researching and I
Okay.
guess talk about like the pros and cons. Like why did I chose this instead of this kind of
Okay.
reasons. Like I don't know like how to say it, but like just research on I guess just research the platform and just bring your
Okay.
ideas why you
And
chose them.
is
Like
that Figma, like per se, or are you looking for other
no, I
platforms?
mean like no, I mean like where you gonna host a website and how are you gonna manage it and maybe the database because since you say that you want the forum, maybe like what kind of database and like where to host it and I don't know, like
Okay.
how you gonna scale the whole thing.
Yeah. Sounds good. That sounds great. Good. So pros and cons on where to host and manage website and database. So I have that here because I know T is pretty good at engineering as well. Well, at least learning and researching. I'm a big researcher as well, so I'll definitely do some digging. And then we can all share that in the engineer chat. Hopefully, we all try to do our updates by Wednesday. So by Wednesday, we can all kind of share maybe some of those pros and cons. Next Friday, we'll come back together, share all those. And everybody, again, anybody, feel free to help out with any of these tasks because, again, they affect us all. But of course, you can also be on the lookout because we're going to be trying to compile that pros and cons list. So it sounds like a plan, Sergio. I look forward to seeing your list next week and getting one together myself. So that's for our engineers. Let's keep going over our strategists or moderators. I know Tiny wasn't here last week for our strategists. We just had to keep making templates and content for the Raw workshop, but you still ended up busting out that video, which was awesome. Greatly appreciated. This week we have the workshop coming up. I know I have been in some Twitter spaces, some different Discords talking about the workshop, working hard trying to create those affiliate links and get people involved with trying to help spread the word, which has helped get us a few tickets. So that's really exciting. I'm very excited to be able to like involve the community in that. So strategist, like you said, Tiny, I know you haven't been feeling too well. So is there anything you feel like you can accomplish, or if others that can help in that area, where would you feel needs to be accomplished for the workshop coming up this week?
Yeah, I think I just need to like how I think that was like 2 weeks ago that I said I need to like just start looking for more different like spaces that are good for us, not just like random spaces, but like spaces that actually like vibe with what we're doing, which is like my main goal out here. So that's like what I'm always trying to do. So I just need to get back on that. So they gave me some medicine. I got out of the ER this morning, so they gave me some medicine. I'm hoping that soon I will start feeling better and I'm gonna get this stuff done. But like you said, I've been trying. I got the video out, so I'm gonna keep trying to do like what I can where I can. But oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and you made a flyer for the people that actually bought their ticket to kind of help them as they explore the workshops this weekend. So you've gotten a lot done. It's been definitely appreciated.
Thank
You're
you.
feeling better. But that's a good point. Exploring different spaces, seeing which ones fit. I know I was in a space yesterday and it was like a shield space, but the guy, he had it set up so cool where it was like he would invite all, because you can have like what 10 speakers up at once, so he would invite like all 9 people up at once, let people just talk about their project, wouldn't say like too much back about it other than like, oh, I'm on your website or I'm on your page, I'm retweeting it, I'm liking it, everybody in the chat make sure you do the same. And then just kept moving through people, but people were selling NFTs and getting a spot. And I never made it up because there was so many people, I guess, in front of me. Because like after the last person, he'd be like, "Let's get the next bunch." So I guess my request was so far down there. But it was like 80 people in there. Like I said, there were people liking it, retweeting it, buying it, supporting, and being interactive. And so trying to find like spaces like that where it's, good communities, supportive communities, and good conversations, and just being a part of the conversation too. Not even, it doesn't even have to always be about shilling, but in normal conversations and talking about different ideas and building. So like you said, being in those right spaces, right time, definitely makes an impact. That's a good one. So anybody listening, if you want to help the strategist in the raw realm, join some spaces, find some that align with us, talk about raw, talk about what you're doing, talk about how anybody could be doing what they're doing with raw, so that more people join, lift it up, and come back and let us know some cool spaces that we should be joining and looking out for. That will be much appreciated, what kind of spaces to be joining. And maybe one of the things that I've been saying, Tiny, too, is Twitter threads have been really something that I want to start leveraging. Starting these threads, whether it's full of resources or a questionnaire or whatever. That's a thread that we can start, though, right? Drop some Twitter spaces that we could that you should join, different things like that get people kind of interacting and tagging other people. So that's something that
yeah, that's good.
right, I can add that on the raw Twitter page. But also everybody, feel free to repost that. That's again something anybody can do, that you can get one or two or a bunch and bring back to the community. It doesn't have to just be one person. So definitely sounds like a good plan. Explore different spaces and Twitter thread poll. Okay. And then last is Miss CJ for our CJ and Zay for our moderators. Oh, let me see. Okay. I don't hear nobody unmuting. Let me see what y'all task was. Everybody quiet. Our moderators. Oh, I see your CJ unmuted. I was going to say, okay, moderators was to create the welcome letter and join Twitter spaces to share about the raw workshop. Did we do that? CJ, I hear you unmuted. How is the welcome letter coming? You still working on the draft or ideas?
Yes, I'll be working on the welcome letter. So
Okay.
that's where I am with it. I'm working on the welcome letter for.
Okay. Perfect. And if you guys don't know, the welcome letter is basically just something that we're going to be sending people once they join. Like, for example, you guys seen we had one member, right, who just joined today. Let me go to my general chat. He is talking about some amazing things that they're doing. And he's like, oh, I went down this whole rabbit hole, and he found us because we're going physical to digital. That's what I realized, right? Because he has this thing where it's like a 3D scanner kind of, but not a 3D scanner basically, where how you can take garments there. Let me see, where was it? Oh, collaboration. So if you see in the collaboration chat, he basically posted it there, and that's why I said 3D scanner, because you see that's like one of those take a picture and it creates the digital asset for you. But he also, in the general chat, shared about an event that they're having in LA. That's kind of centered around, I think he said Web3 fashion. Yeah, it's centered around Web3 fashion. So, again, this is someone, who's coming to the community, shared that they're interested, shared that they see what we're kind of knowing about. He said, oh, he's going to come back and share the flyer and everything. He asked where he could share it. A lot of times, I just point people to the direction on where they can share stuff, because again, our Discord is meant for people to share. So I love people that come into the community and want to share stuff. Even Jose today was asking, like, where can I share the projects that I'm working with? And I'm like, go put it in shill your work, because that's where anybody can kind of just shill anything that you're working on. But stuff like events, share under events, resources, share under resources, news, share news, use these channels. So just kind of pointing him in the right direction. Collaboration, he wants to collaborate, obviously, share under collaboration, share those opportunities. But again, this person is someone who now this would be a good time we would want to go send him that welcome letter, which would just be a DM that's like, hi, welcome, see you just joined the Raw DAO. So excited to have you here. If you want to officially onboard and become a part of the DAO, go ahead and start in where you start. Fill out the Google form, and then you complete a task for the team you're trying to join, and you'll officially be onboarded. You can find those tasks in the task channel or in the tokenomics channel. If you have questions, I'm here for you. Kind of just give them that something that can kind of like welcome them, give them a guide, and open the door to ask a question. That's what we mean when we were talking about this welcome letter. Miss Zay.
Okay, so I went to go send him a welcome letter today, and I couldn't. A bot said I couldn't message him because we don't share a server with him. So I tried to do that, and then the bot said my message can still not be delivered. So I don't know why I can't send it to him, but I definitely did send him twice, and it didn't let me. So
nice.
I don't know why, but.
So something like that, sometimes you have to actually add them as a friend. Did you send them a friend request?
Oh, I did not. Okay, so that's what I have to do.
Yeah, send him a friend request, and then he'll add you as a friend, and then you should be able to message him. Now, if you get that issue, that's fine. At least you tried. Something like that, maybe you could even follow up, and because I know it's kind of hard to say everything to say, but like in a short way. So
I just copied and pasted your thing that you sent me in the inbox. I just copied and pasted that and put it in my notes. So if anybody shows up, I just send it to them. That was like my cheat sheet. So that's what I did.
Exactly. Just something simple like that. So at that point, that's something you can even reply to. I see here like his last thing was awesome. I'll get back with more info later today, but we'll drop the flyer and the events, so something like that. You could still even reply to him there since you couldn't send him in the DM, welcome. If you want to, take it further, here's what you can do next. Here's what you can do next as well. Because I've kind of already replied to him, but more people welcoming is cool, and putting that info out there, like, here's what you should do to get started. Because I even had to go in and also when you come back, check out the workshop chat and see the workshop we're having too, so that way when he comes back around, he knows, okay, this where I'm looking, this what I'm doing, this what they got going on. So that's cool. So if you want to coordinate with CJ, then just to kind of iron out that little welcome letter, like I said, even if you can make it as short as possible so it doesn't sound long-winded, clear. I always put spaces so that's the main points are out, and so that people again understand very clearly this is what I should be doing in order to get active, and that the door is open if they have questions. But
I do also have another question about the task. I did not do the task. I don't know how far back I can go. I was going to ask if I can go, try to recollect what I did, just so I could put that all stuff, put it all together so I could get, when the build token is live, I can get allocated.
Yes, that's a great point. And that's a good thing to wrap it up on. I was going to say the same thing because I myself, like I said, have not been diligent when keeping up with it, but because we are all going to try to do better going on forward this week and uploading our tracker by tomorrow on Saturday, whatever you've done thus far, you could put it in there and put it and depending on what everybody gets back, we can go forward next week. But yeah, try to just put in what you can. And again, when you look at the tracker, let me see here for the tracker. Let me screen share one last time for the sake of everybody understanding what should be done. So, and this is where you can get that as well. If you go to our updates and our pin, our brain is here. So you see our Google Drive. This is our brain where we keep all of the resources. So here in governance, you'll open governance. You'll see our nice document here that talks about how you can contribute, and then for whichever group you're contributing to, you just go to that tab, copy it and paste it in your own document so that you can actually edit it, because you cannot edit it here. So edit it. one thing also, when you save it, you only have to save the page that you have. I seen one person had like saved the whole document, but you only have to save this one page and upload it, like how Tiny has here. So then you'll come here after you've saved yours and actually upload it to whichever one you've added it to. So here we see Tiny's uploaded her strategist tracker here before. So this is where they'll be. And I also did note that it would be best if everybody can start saving it with their name underscore glow team underscore date. So that way it's easy to see, easy for everybody to go back. Like I said, I'll be going in and allocating all the tokens for the educators and creatives. Did anybody want to allocate? Oh yeah, you guys did say you wanted to. So we'll talk in the core team, and I'll make a tutorial on actually how to use Coordinate and allocate that for each team, which I'm really excited about again. But yeah, so that sounds like a plan, guys. This has been a really, really long call, but we got a lot done, a lot talked about, and a lot set in motion. Does anybody have any last thoughts, questions, or concerns? Nope. Okay, awesome. Well, this call has been recorded, so I will be uploading it on YouTube. It's been like, what, 2 hours? Yes, 12 o'clock. Wow. So it might take a minute to upload, but I definitely will get it posted. We'll get the article posted as well with the task outline, and get people knowing what we've got going on. You know, this call was a little longer because, again, we got to get serious with getting our message ironed out so we can be pitching it to communities and really start growing. You know, I realized in the very beginning in January when we had first got started, we were really excited because we hit 100 members, and this season we've kind of stayed around there, which is fine. You know, I'm not a quantity kind of person, but it made me understand we want growth within this next season that we're coming. And in order for us to grow in this community, we have to be clear what we're bringing to the community and why the community should want to be a part of it. So I think this call did a great job really outlining those nitty-gritty details on the nitty-gritty stuff that we're bringing. And I'm just excited to, again, continue to grow this. I want to see us meeting with 100 members, you know, on Friday. And again, not about the quantity thing, but just us. We've been doing good, holding it down and getting these ideas together. But I'm happy to see Shamgar here as a new member and getting more and more new members that see what we're doing and actually want to start becoming a part of it and adding to it. So I'm really excited for that part of this, and I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your weekend. Peace and blessings. I'll talk to you all soon.